On to Russia now, tightening its grip on the regional political landscape. The ruling Pro-Kremlin United Russia Party is set to claim a clear victory in the local elections held on Sunday. Early official results showed the pro-Kremlin politicians backed by Vladimir Putin coasting to a landslide win. The opposition leader Alexei Navalny's supporters, on the other hand, scored rare victories in the city council votes. Two allies of Navalny won local parliament seats in the Siberian city of Tomsk, where the leader was allegedly poisoned last month. United Russia appeared to have lost its council majority in both the places. It was not immediately clear how Navalny's strategy had fared elsewhere, with the votes still being counted. Russia's regional election is being perceived as a dry run for the parliamentary elections scheduled for 2021. The local elections came weeks after the Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny was allegedly poisoned. Before he fell seriously ill, Navalny had urged his supporters to vote against the political party tactically. Navalny had promoted a tactical voting strategy to hurt the United Russia Party and fielded dozens of candidates for the city councils in Siberia. Hence, amid the rising frustration over years of falling wages and the government's handling of the COVID-19 pandemic, the local elections were closely watched for signs of protest voting against the party that backs President Vladimir Putin. Our correspondent Julia Chapman has been getting us the very latest, sent us this report from Moscow. Take a look.
Well, we understand that the ruling United Russia Party has really swept most of these votes. They were voting in a number of regions of Russia for local councillors, for regional leaders as well, the local governors of a number, I believe 18 different regions of Russia. And on the whole, the United Russia Party did very well as other parties that sometimes back United Russia and vote along with them in parliament. However, there were a couple of spots, as you mentioned, where the results were very different, and those were namely Tomsk and Novosibirsk, two cities in Siberia where Alexei Navalny, the opposition activist, had been campaigning ahead of his alleged poisoning in August. And those two cities appear to be where United Russia has lost its majority in local councils, appearing to instead the city backing opposition figures as well as those who had been supported by the smart voting, tactical voting system that Navalny and his allies were putting forward. It's difficult to know exactly how much these results have been influenced by the poisoning of Alexei Navalny. Nevertheless, it's very likely that the investigations and the campaigning that he was involved in ahead of these votes did certainly have an impact. We've seen these two cities, Tomsk and Novosibirsk, with starkly different results to many of the other areas of Russia. There was one other city in Russia that also saw the United Russia Party lose its majority, and that was in Tambov in southern central Russia. But nevertheless, the results in Tomsk and Novosibirsk were very surprising, and they do certainly suggest that people in those regions have been paying attention to the campaigning that's been carried out by Alexei Navalny and his supporters. Indeed, after he'd already been flown to Germany for further medical treatment when he was still in a coma, his team released investigations into local officials in both of those cities, and they appear to have had some impact on the results, having overturned the majorities of the United Russia Party in both those councils.